ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। So we are reading from Canto 3, the status quo, and chapter 24, text 13. Etavati eva shushushra karya pitari पुत्रकैः बाढ़ं इति अनुमन्येत गौरवेण गुरोर्वचः एतावत्येव शुश्रूषा कार्या पितरि पुत्रकैः बाढ़मित्यनुमन्येत गौरवेण गुरोर्वचः एतावत्येव शुश्रूषा कार्या पितरि पुत्रकैः बाढ़मित्यनुमन्येत गौरवेण गुरोर्वचः। प्रभुजी एतावत्येव शुश्रूषा कार्या पितरि पुत्रकैः बाढ़मित्यनुमन्येत गौरवेण गुरोर्वचः। एतावत्येव शुश्रूषा कार्या पितरि पुत्रकैः बाढ़मित्यनुमन्येत गौरवेण गुरोर्वचः। माताजी एतावत्येव शुश्रूषा कार्या पितरि पुत्रकैः बाढम् इत्यनुमन्येत गौरवेण गुरोर्वचः. Word to word translation. Etavati, to this extent. Eva, exactly. Shushrusha, service. Karya, ought to be rendered. Pitari, to the father. Putrakehe, by the sons. Badhami, iti, accepting, yes sir. Anumanyeta, he should obey. Gauravena, with due deference. Guroho, of the Guru. Vachaha, commands. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sons ought to render service to their father exactly to this extent. One should obey the command of his father or spiritual master with due deference, saying, yes, sir. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Two words in this verse are very important. One word is pitari, the another one is guru. The son or disciple should accept the words of his spiritual master and father without hesitation. Whatever the father and the spiritual master order should be taken without arguments. Yes, there should be no instance in which the disciple or the son says, this is not correct, I cannot carry it out. When he says that, he is fallen. The father and the spiritual master are on the same platform because a spiritual master is the second father. The higher classes are called Dvija, twice born. Whenever there is a question of birth, there must be a father. The first birth is made possible by the actual father, and the second birth is made possible by the spiritual master. Sometimes the father and the spiritual master may be the same man, and sometimes they are different men. In any case, the order of the father or the order of the spiritual master must be carried out without hesitation and an immediate yes. There should be no argument. That is real service to the father and to the spiritual master. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has stated that the order of the spiritual master is the life and soul of the disciple. As a man cannot separate his life from his body, a disciple cannot separate the order of the spiritual master from his life. If a disciple follows the instruction of the spiritual master in that way, he is sure to become perfect. This is confirmed in the Upanishads. The import of Vedic instructions is revealed automatically only to one who has implicit faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead and in his spiritual master. One may be materially considered an illiterate man, but if he has faith in the spiritual master as well as in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then the meaning of scriptural revelation is immediately manifested before him. So before we start the class, we'll do the Mangalacharan prayer. Please chant with me. Om Ajnana Nandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Hare Nama, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Kalo Nastyaiva Gatiranyatha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So, Happy New Year to everyone. May you have a good Krishna conscious New Year 2023, 1st January. Thank you everyone to come to the temple. And in this first day of the year, you all are here. Thank you so much. I pray to you, all the elders here, all the Vaishnavas, people who are listening from digital source, thanks to Facebook and Mayapur TV. I seek your blessings. May the right word in right context and the right consciousness comes out of my mouth. And I trust this Vyasa-san. It will take care of it. But I pray that my mood and my attitude remains humble even after the class. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome again to 2023. So, with the first day of this year, the topic is very important, very gross, and we always hear about this topic. It's about the importance of father and spiritual master. So, in this verse, not only father, but also spiritual master. Or in the other way, not only spiritual father, it's also your biological, your father who has given you this body is very important in our life. So basically in this verse, the two words which Brahmaji is actually uttering to Kardama Muni is the father and the spiritual master. Why Brahmaji is so happy? Why Kardama Muni? What Kardama Muni has done that has made Brahmaji so happy that he is saying these verses. In the previous verse, Brahmaji was saying, "My dear son Kardama, since you have completely accepted my instructions without duplicity, showing them proper respect, you have worshipped me properly. Whatever instruction you took from me, you have carried out, and thereby you have honored me." So, the next verse where he is very firmly saying how we should behave as son and daughters, as a disciple of our fathers and of our spiritual master. We should be always very excited to accept their instructions, their orders, by saying, "Yes, sir." It's like you're in a defense academy and you have been given orders, do this, do that, do that. "Yes, sir." You have to say, you have to address, you have to respond by saying, "Yes, sir." But obviously, in our day-to-day life, we don't do that. But we should have that attitude of saying, "Yes, sir." When we say, "Yes, sir," we actually inviting in ourselves that whatever the person have given us the instruction, we have listened to it. And we are going to follow it. So, Prabhupada has made few points here, and it's very firm, it's very strong. On a daily basis, we hear, this is nothing new that we are going to hear today, but because today is the first day of this 2023, I was thinking if we can concentrate and meditate on these powerful words by Srila Prabhupada, it will help us the rest of 2023. And if we are able to maintain the rest of 2023, definitely the next year we will be able to carry out. I was listening to one of the lectures by His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Damodar Swami, and he was saying there are two types of disciples. One is Nishkapat Bhakta and another one is Sakapat Bhakta. So Nishkapat means the person who doesn't have any dualities. Kapat means dualities, or if you know any words, then you can just tell me. So, person who is not honest. And Sakapat is the person who is not honest, who is with duality, and who is doing all these things which Prabhupada has maintained in the purport, argues. He listens to his spiritual master, but he doesn't have faith. When he argues, when he says, I cannot do this, that means he is having that kapat. That is sakapat. When he believes that, okay, Guru Maharaj has given me this order, but Guru Maharaj doesn't know my background. Guru Maharaj doesn't know I can do this or I can do that. Maybe I can do this later. First I will finish this, what I have thought of. That is duality, right? Your Guru Maharaj has given you an order. You have to follow it. You can't just manipulate it. That is sakapat. A person who is not honest within ourselves, within himself. And nishkapat is a person who is honest to himself, who knows what is his good points, what is his bad points, who knows what he can do, what he cannot do. And when he receives an instruction from the Guru, he understands why he has given that instruction, even though he thinks he cannot do it. Example, we can take examples from recent, Srila Prabhupada, when he was very recently received the initiation, and his Guru Maharaj told him, go to the Paschat Desh, means go to the Western world and spread this Chaitanya's words, spread this Harinam. At that time, obviously Guru's vachan, Srila Prabhupada has to carry, but he knew that he has to do it at some point of time, not immediately, because immediately he was given a lot of other services as well. And he kept this in his mind, constantly he was meditating on it. In Hindi we say chinta, we worry. When we get something, when we get some instructions, when we get some orders, we worry. But in Sanskrit, if you are really God conscious, Krishna conscious, in Sanskrit there's a word called chintan. You just put an N at the end. Chinta, chintan. So rather than worry, you meditate on what you have been told to do. You meditate on what your spiritual father or your father has given you the task. We think we know better us, but they know better. They know us better than we know us. They have given us some task. That means they have full faith that we will be able to render it. But we doubt ourselves. When we doubt ourselves, we are actually doubting our spiritual master. That complete faith, that complete surrender, if we cannot do to our father, to our spiritual master, one level up is Govinda. We cannot go there. Because we can only get Govinda through our spiritual master. We can only receive this knowledge. So, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, there are lots of literature in this world. There are lots of good books. And all these books are available just by paying, right? You pay some money and you get the book. But why not everyone is in the same platform? Why not everyone is realized? Why not everyone understands what the literature is saying? We all read the same book. We all read the Bhagavad Gita for that instance. But we don't understand, we don't follow, we don't apply it in our life. And only one thing can help us apply it in our life is Guru Kripa, mercy of the spiritual master. And in that respect, even father stands a very important role. Father or parents. When you make your parent happy, Krishna said in one of his book that when you make your parents happy, when your parents are happy by your activities, there's an automatic reflection of energy. An energy goes back to them saying, thank you or I bless you. They don't have to use these words. But as soon as they are content with the activity of their children, a blessing comes. And that's not their blessing, that's actually Govinda's blessing through them. So we receive Lord's blessing through our Father, through our parents, through our spiritual master. Our Father gives us this body, and spiritual master gives us the identity of spiritual life. We get the identity from our spiritual master. So when we respect our spiritual master, we should also do not forget to respect our Father, our parent, because the blessing will not come directly to us. It comes via someone. Like a general, if a general orders something to his subordinates, a general will not go and order to the subordinates who are fighting in the field. He will get his order through his next subordinates, which is captain, lieutenant, and all. So in this way, when we see that the blessing which we are receiving, it's actually the Lord's potency. Example is like, previously we had Shantanu Maharaj, Mahabharat's character, the greatest, King Shantanu. His 8th son from Mother Ganga was Devavrat. And when Devavrat was born, he protected him. He said, do not flow. You know the story. He was very agitated. He was very anxious that all his sons are getting born, but they are all being put into the water, Mother Ganga. So he stops them, and then Mother Ganga takes him to higher education, into the spiritual world. When he comes down, as we all know the story, when he comes down, he actually takes a lot of pledges for the happiness of his father, just purely for the happiness for his father. His father was not a great devotee. His father was a great ruler. So if his father is not a great devotee, where does the blessings come from? From the Lord. So when this particular example is for people who say that, okay, I understand, I have to follow my spiritual master, I have to follow my father, but what if my father is not a devotee? What if my father is not following God consciousness? Well, then as per the book is saying, don't take instruction. But the book doesn't say that don't respect them. You know, there's a fine line between giving respect and taking instruction. When anyone, your father or spiritual master, is not giving you instruction as per the scriptures, is not giving you instruction to get closer to the Lord, you can reject. You can reject. Like Bali Maharaj. He rejected his spiritual master's instruction. But he did not disrespect him. He did not do anything which will hurt his spiritual master. The only thing he did is not listening to his spiritual master when his spiritual master, Shukracharya, said to him that do not pay alms to this dwarf. And who was the dwarf? Vishnu himself, as Vamandev. He knew he is the supreme personality of Godhead. Bali Maharaj knew that. And he thought that if I listen to my Gurudev, he is not going to take anywhere closer to the Lord. So he rejected it. But on the same time, he has respected his Gurudev and did whatever is necessary, whatever his Gurudev has explained and taught him. We often miss this fine, minute, micro instruction by our acharyas. We miss the point of being humble and being respectful when we are rejecting any instructions. These two can carry on the same line. You don't have to merge them. You can keep your respect to your elders, and on the simultaneously you can listen or reject their instruction. But to come to that point, to come to that level, when to reject, what to reject, you need to be God conscious. You need to be God conscious. And how you can be God conscious? By following your spiritual master. So that question is irrelevant. That what if my father is not a conscious person? What if my father is not right? it's irrelevant. Just follow your father. Once you follow your father correctly, you'll be able to follow your spiritual master. Because that's your first step. If you disrespect your father, you are going to be able to soon disrespect your own spiritual master. That's by default, it's in the blood. You do one mistake, there's a collateral damage in the other respect as well. So respect your father, respect your parents, and when you do that, they give you the blessing, they give you their mercy. Through their mercy, you get a spiritual father. And when you get a spiritual father, how you should behave is all in this purport. So, Srila Prabhupada says that how we should say like, yes, sir. There should be no instance in which the disciple or the son should say that this is not correct. So 2 points Srila Prabhupada is making here. We should never say that I cannot do it. We should never have that hesitant that, can I do it? Okay, my Gurudev has given me this order, but I don't think I'm capable of. You know that kind of attitude? That is because you are still identifying yourself with your body, not with your soul. You're not aligning with your spiritual master's orders. Hesitant. You're hesitant with that. And the second one, the first one is, I'm still going on first. I cannot carry the order of my spiritual master. That's the first one, which means hesitant. You're hesitant of doing it. As soon as you feel that, you're fallen. And when you're fallen, you're definitely not able to carry the next order. And when we listen to our spiritual master, when we follow our spiritual master by two things: following the orders as his only and only duty, and faithfully executing that order, is a secret of success to spiritual life. That's what Srila Prabhupada is trying to say here. And also he has mentioned Dvija. Dvija means twice born. So when we are born with this body, when we take the initiation, we get another body. Not another body, another identity. That is Dvija. When we get initiation, we get a God family, God brothers and sisters, God father, that is Dvija. And when we come to that platform, the only thing we should do is follow the orders of your spiritual master and faithfully execute them. The second point was father's. So 2 points, which is like, this is not correct, and I cannot carry it out. So faith, there comes the faith. Faith from that point that I cannot carry it out. And hesitant, this is not correct. So these 2 points are the main point which we should remember. I remember a story of Ramanujacharya when he was going with his disciples, going around with his disciples, and after the prasadam, the disciples washed the plates and kept it aside. But the disciple could see the fish in the water had eaten the leftovers. In Sanskrit we say uchishta, the leftover of his Gurudev, Ramanujacharya. And as soon as the fishes ate the leftovers of Sri Ramanujacharya, the fishes immediately turned into 4 arms form and went back to Dham, to Narayan Lok. The disciples saw this, and they were amazed. They were just questioning each other, how come these fishes, they ate and they went back? And yeah, we are eating every day. Nothing is happening. So they said, okay, let's ask to the Guru Maharaj. So they all went and asked. And see, this is the difference I want to make out. The way they ask is like charging. How come that's happened? How come this didn't happen? And in Bhagavad Gita 2.7, Karpanya Dosho, Arjuna is asking the same question, like not the same context, but Arjuna is asking, how come this is so obvious to you, but I'm not able to understand it? There's two difference. One is charging, one is, arguing. You should not argue. That's what Srila Prabhupada is saying, saying in his purport. We should not argue. When an instruction is given, it's given, done. Done and dusted, it's up, stamped. And here on the other side, Arjuna is submissively asking. Asking and arguing is different. So disciples came, and when they ask to their Gurudev that how come we have been eating your Uchishta, we have been eating the leftover of your Mahaprasadam, still how come nothing has happened to us? And how come those fishes, they ate and they went back? So Ramanujacharya says that because you all are crooked. That is sakapat. You all have a different mindset. You don't have faith in me. You don't have faith in the Lord. You don't have faith in His word. I remember another story. I'm going diverted. So there's another story of how the faith can really help. It can really transform our life. A story of Dundukari and his brother. When his brother, it's a long story, when his brother got murdered, so the soul was not having a right body. And because there was no body, the soul was just wandering in the world. And the soul get caught of his brother and he plead, brother, please save me from this pathetic life. Please give me liberation. And his brother knew what kind of a brother he has. So he said, okay, I'll do 7 days Bhagavatam Katha. And in this Bhagavatam Katha, you will have to sit on a bamboo stick. And how will I understand? So his brother says, when I sit on the bamboo stick, every time I understand the liberation, I'm getting close to the liberated time, the bamboo stick will crack, and ultimately it will split into two. So that happens, 7 days of Bhagavatam goes on, and he listens to it very carefully with full faith, and he goes back. But obviously when there is a Bhagavatam, there's not one person listening, there are lots of other like you all. So there were all other people sitting, and they said, oh come on, he went back, how come we didn't? Then Gokarna was his brother's name. So Dundukari died, but Gokarna is the one who is the pious brother who gives him moksha, who gives him liberation. So Gokarna says, hang on, I think you guys were more busy in coming to the Bhagavatam class, what the prasadam you're going to have after that, what are you going to do after that. You were more inclined and focused in other part of your life, not the Bhagavatam Katha, Chintan. You were not meditating on what the Bhagavatam Katha was. So they said, okay, we want another one, and let's sit for another 7 days, and this time we will not concentrate on any other life activities, we will only concentrate on the Bhagavatam. And that's when they concentrated on Bhagavatam. 7 days of Bhagavatam went, and all of them went back on the Garuda career, right? So the faith is very important. I'm trying to explain the faith here. Now coming back to the main story, Kardama Muni. Kardama Muni himself is a self-realized soul. Don't you think he knew already that he is a self-realized soul and he doesn't need to get into trap of, having a wife, having children, and everyone knows having a wife, having a children is a trapment. Nobody wants to take that responsibility, right? And he is a realized soul. He is one of the topmost human species which have been delivered by Brahma himself. So they are all realized. Like 4 Kumaras, as soon as the 4 Kumaras been given the order by Brahma, 4 Kumaras says, hey Pitra, we don't want to get engaged into the Grahasthashram. We are self-realized, we are happy in this way. And Brahmaji got angry, and that's how they are still 6 years old kids, 4 Kumaras. The same way Brahmaji gave birth, he has progenited different people, and he has given the orders to different people. Kardama Muni happened to be one of them. And when Kardama Muni was given an order, go and procreate, he didn't think the same way as four Kumaras thought, right? If he would have thought, it would have been hard for us to be in this world, right? We are part of Kardama Muni as well. Our ancestors somewhere land up there. So Kardama Muni knew this, that it's an order of my father, I have to execute it. And what did he do? 60 years of austerity. And after you do an austerity, when you actually see, pratyaksha, when you actually see the Lord in front of you, you don't have any more material desires. As soon as you see the Lord, you're just content. I can only give an example, the contentment, the intensity of contentment to Mataji is here. When we deliver a child, 9 months of pain, the labor pain, everything goes. As soon as we see that 1 second old child in our hand, the pain goes. We don't realize, we don't remember anything. It's the same way when we see the Lord, I guess, maybe 10 million, 1,000 times more intensity of contentment when we see the Lord in front of us. And Kardama Muni had seen. He would have just said that, oh, done. My life is done. I've achieved the maximum liberation by just seeing you. I don't want anything. Well, what does he say? Rather, he says, I want a wife who is favorable to my mission, who is able to give me the way I want, who is able to help me in executing my father's order. Please bless me with a suitable wife. Now, this seeking blessing is way different than what we do in today's world. We go to Guru Maharajas and say, we want a good life partner, we want a good this, we want a good that. Our intentions are way different than Kardama Muni's intentions. So we cannot think in the same plane that Kardama Muni is asking for a wife after he sees the Lord. We cannot say. Here, there are 400,000 different species of human. So human, two-legged jiva, 400 different species. And out of those 400 different species, maximum are like aboriginals or tribes who don't have access to Vedas, who don't know what is Vedas. And whatever is left, few of them know Vedas, but they cannot accept it. They cannot apply it into their day-to-day lives. And whatever few left, hardly few of them do bhakti. And whoever does bhakti, hardly few of them do Krishna bhakti. And whatever is left, hardly they are self-realized. And that species of human is what Kardama Muni is. And he is asking for a wife, for a suitable wife who can help me in executing my father's order. How important father's order is. Now here in this context, his father and his spiritual master are the same. Brahma is his spiritual master, Brahma is his father. But in different contexts, you have different father, different spiritual master, but the importance still remains the same. Yes, sir. That's how we need to accept the orders of our fathers, of our spiritual master, because that order will take us close to Govinda. That order will take us close to realization. So when Kardama Muni accepted this order and he has executed this order, he has showed us how a son should behave, how a son should implement on this yes sir. And on the second side of this, he has also shown how a father should behave. He said to his wife, I will give you 9 daughters and 1 son. See, the unflinching faith which both of them, Mother Devahuti and Kardama Muni, due to their faithful delivery of devotional service, Lord promised himself that I will come in your home. Generally, we have seen in our past that people, good devotees, exalted devotees, they do immense austerity to have the Lord to take birth in their own family, to have the Lord as their son. But here, Kardama Muni hasn't asked that. Lord by himself, through the happiness that he has accepted his father's order, I will come. I will come down as his son. And as a result, Kapila Muni had come into his family, into his wife's womb. And as Kardama Muni said to his wife, I will give you someone who can take care of you after I go. And such a beautiful wife, such a beautiful daughters, he then got attached to them. He kept his promise and he asked his son, I'm going to leave. Are you able to take care of my wife? And his son said, yes, father. Father, he is showing two character very nicely and very prominently for us to follow. We don't need any other examples to understand, but definitely there are other examples. As a father, he has shown us how we have to be attached as well as detached. He was attached to his own father, Brahmaji's orders, and he executed it very nicely. And then he also remembered that he needed to be detached. He left as soon as Kapila Dev Muni was good enough to take care of his mother. So both sides, if we see the both sides, we need to understand, we need to implement in our own life. No dualities while we take orders from our master, because that will not give us any peace, that will not take us anywhere closer to the Lord. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also says here that the point, what he's making here, is from Bhagavad Gita 2.41, Vyavasayatmikar buddhi ekeha kuru nandana. 1 point attention. That ekeha, 1 point. When you receive an order, that's the only life and soul, that's the only dead end. There's no further branches coming out. You cannot think of, I can do like this, I can do like that. No. That's the only order. That's what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is making a point here. Has stated that the order of spiritual master is the life and soul of the disciple. We generally take this word life and soul very granted. Very easy. To some extent that even when I was coming out of a meeting in office, I said to, because I'm in compliance, risk and compliance, I said to one of my colleagues, I said, we should take his life and soul. And then I was like, oh God, I'm not in temple and I'm not in front of my spiritual master. Life and soul is something which you cannot go beyond. Which you, say a father is driving a car, a daughter is sitting next to her. A daughter knows very well my father is a good driver. He will not make any mistake to harm me. So she is relaxed. She doesn't think. That relax, that contentment we should have when we are receiving an order from our spiritual master. As a man cannot separate his life from his body, a disciple cannot separate the order of the spiritual master from his life. When we receive a spiritual master, again we take it for granted. Again we think that, oh, I've got a spiritual master, I'm lucky, that's it. Well, what are you doing to be lucky? What are you doing to continue to be lucky? Just follow the instructions. And sometimes, funnily, I've also heard people saying that, oh, Guru Maharaj hasn't given me any orders. Well, what do you mean? Guru Maharaj hasn't told me any, Guru Maharaj hasn't given me any project. Guru Maharaj hasn't given me any, a devotional activity or something, But when Guru Maharaj was giving you actual initiation, what did he say? Chant your rounds. Follow the 4 basic principles. Those are important. We think it's simple. We think we are not doing any extra project. We are not taking any extra activity, devotional service. But chanting your rounds, maintaining the 4, regulative principles, those are important. We take it for granted just because Guru Maharaj hasn't given us a good project or any devotional activity. The moment you receive the mala from the bead from your Guru Maharaj, he is asking you, please chant and please follow the 4 regulative principles. Please be in Srila Prabhupada's movement. Do not leave the movement no matter what happens. These are the instructions. And if you're lucky, again, if you are lucky in following these 2 instructions of your spiritual master will see it. He will give you another instruction. You don't have to say to people, I don't have any instructions. We have. As soon as we get initiated, we have these 2 very, very important responsibility. Because when we don't chant correctly, we don't chant attentively, we are actually committing sin. And who is getting the sin? Our spiritual master. Because he has promised us to take us back to Godhead. How are we going to go back to Godhead? With our sins? No. He is taking our sins. So he is telling us that we need to focus on these basic things. And when we focus on these basic things, automatically other things come. Spiritual master is in a different platform. When he is communicating with his disciple, he knows what platform we are at. And as per that, he gives us those instructions. And when we take those instructions and we say, I don't think I can do it, you don't have to say that in front of your Gurudev, but Gurudev can understand because he is in a different dimension. Yeah? There are 3 dimensions we know, right? Height, breadth, and the distance, right? There are 64 dimensions. And our Gurudevs are not sitting in these dimensions. They are way above those dimensions. And he can perceive what's going on in our mind by seeing what kind of execution of our devotional service we are doing. And when we do that, and when our spiritual master sees that he is not taking it honestly, with faith, then spiritual master gives us blessing. But that is material blessing. We get good house, good car, good wife, good husbands, good children, material blessings. But what are we seeking here? We are seeking here spiritual blessing, love of God. And when we execute the orders faithfully, honestly, we receive this love automatically. There need not have to be any certificate certified by your spiritual master. That's automatically. It happens automatically. When you make your father happy, your father automatically allows you things which you have never thought you will get it. In a similar way, spiritual life can only be taken by making your spiritual master happy. The first class disciple is the one who understands what his spiritual master wants. His spiritual master doesn't have to say it, he does it. That's the first class. And to come to that level, obviously, again, going back to Srila Prabhupada's Dvija, twice born, follow the orders in only as your life and soul duty and faithfully execute those orders. That's how you will be able to get the love of God through your spiritual master. That's the mercy you're getting. It's like a banker. So say suppose I'm the teller lady and I'm counting in a day like millions of dollars if I'm in a big bank. Yeah? I'm counting those monies. If I think these monies, because I'm counting it, is mine, am I right? No, these are not my money. Right? These are different people's money, these are banks' money. As soon as I count, I put it in the drawer, I do my checks, tick, sign, tick, done, dusted, I go home. When we take our spiritual master's instruction, we make an effort, we make an effort to the extent that we are having anxiety. That is good. We are having anxiety to follow the orders. But what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, don't take anxiety about its fruits. Do the job, do the instructions what you have taken. Carry out the order, but stay unaffected from its fruits and results. So whatever money I have counted as a teller, I'm not affected with how much I have counted yesterday and how much I have counted today. Is there a big difference? I'm not affected. It's not my problem. It's the bank's or it's my manager's problem. Same way, when we carry out the instruction of our spiritual master, we don't worry about the result or the profit and loss of it. It's our spiritual master who is taking care of it. And he is definitely going to make deliverance through it. When we are attached to executing the orders, we automatically don't look at the profit and loss of those activities, of those devotional service, what we are doing. That is complete faith. That is when you have actually executed the orders of your spiritual master. So, the concern should be, as stated by our acharyas, should be how to execute the order of my spiritual master. How can I do the best? Because of these two subtle differences only, we can see when Srila Prabhupada has gone to Western world, when his Guru Maharaj left the world, how Gaudiya Math split. How Gaudiya Math, there were two set of people. One set of people were only thinking about how Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's assets we can divide, how we can take care of other stuff. And there were other set of people who were only thinking of their Guru Maharaj's instruction, that how we can print books, how we can preach. And through that only, Srila Prabhupada took this message to Western world, and now we can see through his mercy of his Guru, after age of 70, he has made 108 temples. We are making just one temple, and how much pains, bloodshed we are going through, yeah? He has made 108 temples in such a short span of life. And every time he has said what? One thing, I'm just following my Guru Maharaj's order. I'm just following his instructions. And if that is in your mind, nothing else, everything will fall in line. And automatically even you wouldn't know how it has happened. So, in this class, in today's class, whatever we have gone through, we have discussed, if we can just make it a point that 2023, first day of the year, whatever we have heard, if at all we can apply it, and I'm not just telling you, it's for me as well, if at all we can apply whatever Srila Prabhupada has mentioned in his purport to make it easy for us to understand, I'm pretty sure 2023 would be a successful year for all of us. So, Happy New Year once again. And may this instruction of Srila Prabhupada gets imbibed into us, makes us into our blood, and we get it in our daily activity, taking it seriously, the instructions of our Gurudevs. Any questions or any comments, or anyone wants to add anything on what I have said? I'll be happy to hear. Yes, Prabhu.
You emphasized on the Srila Prabhupada's purport and spelled out the standing of the Krishna unconscious fathers, like Hiranyaksha,
Yeah.
who are, I guess, with due respect,
Yeah.
very much in majority of the households these days. I was just wondering if you could please touch upon
Yeah, very nice question. So, Prabhuji is saying, Srila Prabhupada, how he has mentioned in the purport that part, yes, sir, how we can imbibe in our life, how we can see our fellow devotees, fellow disciples of other Guru Maharajas and our own Guru Maharajas, how we should take it, how we should apply our intelligence into it. Right, Prabhu? Have I understood your question correctly? So, I would like to read the purport again, and let's understand it all together. So, two words in this verse are very important. One word is Pitari, the other word is Guru. The son or disciple should accept the word of his spiritual master and father without hesitation. I don't have to go further. So, these two things, the second line of Srila Prabhupada's purport, where he's saying how we should accept the words of a spiritual master, like not just yes, sir, like a commander. Well, the emphasis on saying yes, sir, is actually you are taking the orders. See, like on a daily basis, when I'm talking to my son, I'm saying, do this, do that. He doesn't tell me, yes, mom. Because he's not taking the orders. He doesn't want to take the orders. That's why he's not saying, yes, mom. When he's happy to take the orders, he's saying, yes, mom. Yeah? So every time when an instruction comes from Acharya or your Gurudev or your, like fellow devotees, you were saying, that attitude of yes, sir, you don't have to say yes, sir, but the attitude of yes, sir is actually you are acknowledging the instruction. The yes, sir, what I understood here is actually you're acknowledging. The firm faith of acknowledgement, yes, sir, is what Prabhupada is saying. And I'll repeat this again. The son or disciple should accept the words of spiritual master and father without hesitation. When you ask me, Mataji, sing, I get hesitated, right? Whether my voice is good or not, or whether I'll be pronouncing the right words, or there are different things. Hesitation. That hesitation we should not have when a Gurudev is giving an instruction. And again, coming back to your question, you are saying that how we should behave with other fellow devotees is the same way. Is the same way. Have faith. Have faith in Govinda. Have faith in Guru Maharaj, who is giving us Govinda, who is giving us Govinda's love. And it cannot be directly. We cannot get direct love from the Lord. There are so many instances in the past. We cannot. It is only coming from the Guru's mercy. It is only coming by Guru's mercy. And how can you get Guru's mercy? By making him happy. And how can you make him happy? By, being friendly with your own team. Yeah? If you have not received any instruction, it means you have to first make good relations